Hello, my internet friends. We're going to have some fun today. All right, you and me. I've got my coffee. While people are filing into the room and gathering their seats, I'll tell you a story about this coffee cup. And then we'll play with Aurora HDR 2017. And then I'll also tease tomorrow. We're going to do a huge critique session. Okay, so I'll show you how you can get your photo maybe critiqued. Okay, can't promise anything, but we can try. Here's a little story about this coffee cup. This isn't a great story. It's just a story. All right. So there's this place here in Queenstown called Briscoe's. I guess in the U.S. it's kind of like Target. It's like a smaller Target. We're all excited because this is a small town. We got a Briscoe's, big time, big excitement in a small town, Briscoe's. So I went over there because I like coffee cups. I'm a big fan of coffee cups and having a variety of coffee cups. I don't like having all the same kind of coffee cups because every morning's different. So every morning you have a different coffee cup, right? I like this little morning coffee ritual I have, sort of a little Zen thing I go through. Anyway, so Scarlett was with us, our youngest of our 3 kids. She's 7. And she sees us getting coffee cups. And she goes like, I want a coffee cup. I was like, okay, all right. So she went they have all kinds of coffee cups. They've got like 100 different kinds. And she picked this one, okay? And I said, Scarlett, why do you like that one? It's a little plain. It's a little boring. The design isn't that great. It's a bit banal. She goes, I don't know. I just like it. I said, all right. And I said, well, wait a minute. You don't even drink coffee. And she says, Dad, that's beside the point. And I really couldn't argue with that, right? She just kind of ended the argument. So I was like, all right, I'll get you that coffee cup. I'm using it now because she's at school. All right, let's get going here. Before we dive into Aurora HDR 2017, let me see what's going on here. Let me make sure this thing's actually live and going. Let me refresh this page. So I want to encourage everyone to come join this group, the Becoming an Artist, Trey Ratcliff's Funky Lounge. That's the name of it. We've had some things going on, but I really want to get up there. Hey, Hassan from Fort Lauderdale. What's going on, Hassan? Hassan in the his house. Okay, so tomorrow, let me show you how we do critiques, okay? I'll do it at a surprise time tomorrow, but don't worry, it'll be recorded, all right? So come join this group, okay? It's groups/becoming an artist. Right, this is a members-only club. What could be behind the velvet rope? Nobody knows. Well, come join right now. I'll just let you in, or I'll have Stu let you in, okay? We didn't start it too long ago. We already have 3,800 members in there. So we have a pinned post, okay? Seeing the pinned post on mobile, by the way, is a little difficult. There's this little thing up there that says See Pinned Post. So you click on that, and we'll go to the pinned post. Okay, this is kind of our critique thread, all right? And so inside of here, post the photo that you want critiqued, all right? And I'll try my best to get to it tomorrow, all right? I'll also talk a little bit about the photo, like what you're trying to achieve, what you're going for. You don't necessarily have to put your best photo up there. You know, this isn't like try to impress Trey time. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. Friends don't have to impress each other, right? Right? Am I right? I'm right. So maybe put up a photo that you're having some trouble with, or something's not quite right with it, and then talk about it a little bit. Like, where's your head at? What are you trying to achieve? What's going on? Tell me your personal problems, whatever it might be. Okay, and then we'll attack these tomorrow. We'll go right through it. And what I'm going to do too, in case you missed the live critique, I'm going to have Stu Davidson, my right-hand Scottish man. He will be putting a reply on each of these and putting a timestamp where you can go see the critique of your individual photo. But if you're like me, you just love seeing critiques, right? You can learn a lot by watching other people's photos get critiqued as well. I should really do it more often. I've been a bit busy, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be fun. And I know like a lot of people watching are already inside the Arcanum, okay, which is www.thearcanum.com. And inside of there, you kind of level up and you get challenges from your master, and your master will critique your work every 5 levels. So a lot of people in the Arcanum are already getting their work regularly critiqued. So this is going to be sort of an open air event. Okay. All right, sports fans, let's work on Aurora HDR 2017. Okay, this is one of the things I've been very busy with. It just became available for pre-order today. And if you do the pre-order, you get like $300 worth of stuff. What a deal. What a deal. And if you already have it, we have a special upgrade price for you too. Okay, that's all available on our website. You can figure that out. Or, of course, contact Stu. He runs our support team. Now, let me go check comments while I have a sip of my coffee from my rather nondescript coffee cup. Looking good. Okay, all this looks good. All this looks good. Now, let's work on a photo, shall we? Let me switch over here to Aurora 2017. So, there's many new features. So it's like over 20 new features. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll just show you some. Now, let me start out by saying that this photo came from a single RAW. Okay, let's look at the before. Here's the before and after. It's more fluid, vibrant, and alive. Not a huge difference, a subtle difference. But you can make it as extreme if you want, as you want to. So for example, I'll go down here and really increase this HDR structure. Really give it some oomph and some pizzazz. Really increase the, whoops, I went down too fast there. Really increase the smart colorize amount, make it more glowy, what have you. Great, good times. So let me see, where do we go with it? So that's the before and after. This is the new eyeball thing. Now it actually shows the real before and not the other before. Okay. So a whole new interface. You might notice that when you click on the brush tool, all this stuff swaps out right here. We have this cool new thing called luminosity masking. So if you click this, what happens is you get this scale from 0 to 10, from black to white. Okay. I wanted to call this 50 Shades of Trey, but they thought that was stupid. I said, that's a pretty good idea, guys. They're like, no, that's stupid. We're not going to do it. So we just ended up with 10 shades of gray. So what is luminosity masking, if you're wondering? Basically, it allows you to choose areas of the photo based on how bright or dark they are. Okay, like for example, if I pick 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see a lot of the screen is turned like green here. Okay, we've basically chosen the darkest 50% of the photo. All right, you can just choose a few of them, so whatever you might want to do, and then once you choose those, you have total control over here with all of these tools. And these are not just HDR tools on the right, but these are all the main tools, and even some of the sub tools that are inside Lightroom. Okay, isn't that cool? So I can unselect these. I can just select some of the brightest areas. Like if I just want to grab the cathedral there, and I want to bring those tones down. A lot of people feel like luminosity masking is a much more realistic version of HDR. I tend to argue with that. One of my problems with luminosity masking is it's always been a major pain in the ass to get it selected in Photoshop. I mean, I could do it. I'm pretty good at Photoshop, but it is a bit of a Rambo mission, isn't it? Look how easy this is. You just click on whatever colors you want. Even over here on the histogram, right, you can grab these middle tones. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, how awesome is that? Come on. That's just one of the new features. We have batch processing, whole new HDR algorithm, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's close that for now, though. Let me reset this whole thing. I'll reset the whole shoot and match, and I will do it from scratch. Okay. By the way, if you guys are just joining us, we're doing critiques tomorrow. If you want to get your work critiqued, perhaps, maybe, I can't promise, but try. Come over here and join our group on Facebook, the Becoming an Artist group. Incoming call. Oh, I can't get that right now. My friend Richard. Yeah, come join. We have a pinned post here. post the photo that you want critiqued here in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to them. All right? All right, awesome. Awesome, awesome. My voice is delayed, or vice versa. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible I'm time traveling too. Isn't that a great design for luminosity masking, Paul? Fantastico. Hey, Donald from Florida, and Bill from Venice, Florida. You guys keep telling me where you're watching from. Super cool. Super cool. Okay, let's recreate this from scratch, okay? Now down here, by the way, you see we have all these presets. This is from our upcoming expansion pack, okay? At least another 26 presets we're going to do. We got all kinds of funnies in here. Here's one called Brownies in Netflix Heaven. That's a little bit desaturated. This is a little bit glowy. This is called CSI Blue Light Surprise. Here's a more subtle one. This one's called Expert in Bird Law. Here's a nice one. This is called Helping Sheep Over the Fence. This is a New Zealand thing. You know, like there's a lot of, I guess, males here that get lonely, and they're into sheep. And supposedly, like if someone catches you with a sheep, you're supposed to say, "No, no, mate, I was just helping the sheep over the fence." I've never said that, by the way. This is an extreme one. It's called Please Erase My Browser History. I always want to get a medical bracelet, and that's the only thing it says on there. Everyone finds me passed out. It has that one thing on there. We have a lot of realistic looking ones in here. One reason we have a lot of realistic ones in here is because of the new batch processing. Like let's say you're a real estate guy or gal, and you come back from the shoot, you've got 100 shots, and you want to run them through batch processing. No problem. I suggest that you use one of the realistic ones, right? So it's not too extreme, and then you can look at the results. And then you could bring that resulting JPEG back into Aurora and really amp it up. See what I'm saying? So you kind of go on a double wash cycle in a way. That makes sense. All right, wait, I'm going to click reset here, and let's build up this photo from the ground up. Now remember, this is taken from a single raw photo. I think Gino brought this up. A very wise moment of his. That, you know, as much as I love this program, obviously I co-developed it along with MacFun. You know, it's a dream come true to get to build your own HDR software, right? Well, and I talk about it all the time how great it is, but so much that people think about HDR is you have to have bracketed sets of photos, like 3 photos at different exposures. That's not necessarily true. I get almost the same results from a single RAW file, as you can see here. Okay. So what are the stats on this thing? Okay, this is ISO 200, 75mm, f11. I think it's a 15 or 16 second exposure. 8200 pixels across. This is a medium format shot with a Hasselblad. Let me show you what my typical movements are. Okay. Now there's all kinds of tools down here. Okay, lots of new ones too, including a polarizing filter and all kinds of good stuff. Don't be intimidated by all this stuff. Honestly, I think what most people do is they come in and they pick a preset. There are all kinds of presets down here. This is actually going to come with my presets, Captain Chemo's, and Serge Ramelli's. So you can get all. This is a beta version, so we don't have Serges in here. Serge. But I think a lot of people come in here and they might like click realistic HDR, and they might go pick one, and then they're done, right? They don't even play with these controls. We're going to play with them now just to show you what's going on. Okay, I'll reset here. I will increase the contrast just a little bit. Okay, Smart Tone is great because what it does is it brings up the dark spots without hurting the bright spots. So watch this. As I pull this up, you get all that rich light and color that was really there, that I was able to see on the scene there in Venice. Let me back up a second. There's a slider up here that you're not seeing. It's a new one called HDR Look, and you only get that one when you put in 3 photos. So we'll look at that on the next demo. Okay. And oftentimes I will bring down the blacks a little bit. Look at that. So, by the way, I'll tell you something embarrassing I said. I had a press conference maybe a press conference isn't the right word. I did a webinar for like the entire European media on this product a few days ago. And I didn't realize what I said until after I said it, because I moved this down and I go, you know, sometimes I like to keep down the blacks. And then I just kind of kept talking, and then I reflected 10 seconds later. I go, oh, that doesn't sound right. I'm talking about in Aurora HDR, right? Right? I know, Unchained. All right, then what I'll do is I will, of course, I don't really believe that in real life. Let me just make that clear. In Aurora, I do that, okay? So I don't really play with the saturation too much because I think it makes it look kind of fake. By the way, you can double click on a word and it goes right back to the middle. Okay. I will increase the vibrance a little bit because I think that gives it a nice little touch. This seems to increase those secondary colors. All right. I might increase the clarity just a little bit. HDR structure is one of my favorite parts. Look at that. I've got some water spots up there, some dust spots on my sensor. Actually, I've discovered something new with this tool, and I've used this to make thousands of photos, and not until just recently did I come up with this realization. And I mean, as in the last 3 days. Do you see this softness? I used to increase this quite a bit, and I still do, because sometimes HDR, that amount here, that can make it look a bit rough, and this softens it up a little bit. But if you move it over to the left, it really helps to define things. Like let me zoom in here. Let's zoom in a little bit on this building here, okay? And let this thing resolve. Okay, so that's like really. Let me go into even more. Okay. So in some ways, the word softness is bad now that I think about it, because like, well, what is the opposite of softness is actually sharpness. Okay. So in a lot of ways, you're decreasing the sharpness, which is counterintuitive, although I get it, right? Once you get it, you get it. So once I increase the softness, watch this, just watch what happens with the building. The building gets much softer, okay? And then as I go back here to the left, it gets much sharper, okay? Much better, much better. I'll click this thing to make it back to normal. Good. Yeah, so I will keep this one a little bit sharp. I like it a lot. Maybe a little bit of boost. Now this has increased the noise a little bit in the sky. So I'll go down here to HDR denoise, do a little amount, go smooth. And super smooth really makes it smooth. I mean, like bikini wax smooth. I asked the guys, gals over at MacFun, I said, look, can we change the name of this slider to bikini wax? I said, everyone knows what that means. And they said, Ratcliff, that's stupid. We're not going to call that slider bikini wax. I was like, come on. They're not all Ukrainians, but I'm like, you know, you Ukrainians are very serious. Maybe it's like too much borscht and cognac. I don't know what it is. Come on. How cool would it be to have a slider called bikini wax? Well, not this version, folks. I'll keep fighting the good fight for you, though. I pick my battles. And I also quite like image radiance. Pull that up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ride the radiance pony. Look at that. Oh, yeah. So let's go before and after. Before, after, before, after. All right, let's work on a new set of photos. Shall we, sports fans? This time let's do a series of brackets. Okay? Like the internet is a series of tubes. We will now work on a series of brackets. Okay? We're working on this one from Tokyo, Japan. Let me pick these up. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. I'm bringing 3 new photos into Aurora. Okay? Now, let me see if you can see this or not. I don't even know if it's coming up through on Wirecast. Is it? No, it's not. Okay. Well, I've got a little ghost reduction stuff going on here. I'm picking the middle exposure. There's a Japanese guy walking down an alley. Now let me see if you guys can see what's going on here. You see it? Oh, good. Okay, it's loading. Let me swap over here to our group. Here's our group. Okay, to recap recap. I'm showing off Aurora 2017, Aurora HDR 2017, which just went on pre-order today. You grab it now, it's a great deal. It comes with like $300 worth of goodies. Okay, we just had 13 people asked to join the group. I will approve them. I'll assume that we only have one rule inside Trey's Funky Lounge, this private group here. And one rule is be nice. Okay? Be nice. It's not that hard. All right? I'm sure you have to hang out sometimes during the day with people that aren't so nice, aren't really cool. Well, this is a safe place for you, a safe haven. When life gets a little rough, just mosey on in to Trey's Funky Lounge. We'll remove the red velvet rope, hand you a cocktail. You can sit back on a comfy couch, get a blanket, talk photography, share your photos, that sort of thing. Yeah, so come on in here, share any photo that you want to be critiqued. There's a pinned post up here. Share your photo. And tomorrow we'll do some critiques. All right. All right, everyone looking good, looking good. Okay, back. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Sorry, let me just up here. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Oh, we're still loading. I'm still deciding, by the way, which RAW files to include with Aurora HDR 2017. I haven't decided yet. And also, I haven't decided whether or not I want to do like actual RAW files or JPEGs. I do have this one. I have a bunch of them zipped up now, about 50 of them. But it's like 1.6 gigabytes. It's so big. It's kind of ridiculous. And I'll give you another hot tip, is that I have discovered that pulling JPEGs into Aurora HDR 2017 is just as effective as pulling in RAW files, right? 3 JPEGs looks exactly the same to me as 3 RAW files. And I have a pretty careful eye for this sort of thing. So typically what my workflow is, even though you can round trip from Lightroom, my typical technique is that I will find my 3 photos in Lightroom, and I will export them as JPEGs into a little junk folder, and then I bring those into Aurora. Okay, so that's kind of how I do it. Unless it's a single RAW, like before, I will just pull that single RAW straight into Aurora. Okay. All right, so here we are. This is in the Ginza area of Tokyo. Tokyo has like 7 or 8 neighborhoods. Let's go through some of the new ones here. See what we got. This is typically what I'll do, actually. I'll come in, I'll just click on a bunch of presets. I'll get some ideas. I quite like this one all the time. CSI Blue Light Surprise. It's a little glowy. Let me show you a tip that is pretty cool. Maybe you like the preset, but it's too much. Way too much, right? Well, what you can do is you can take this slider and move it down to like 50%, 25%, 75%, 71%. You have about 100 options, give or take. All right? I recommend prime numbers and even numbers. Okay? I even recommend 100. That gave me an idea. I wonder if we could put this like at 50, and if you could like double the preset effect. That's a good idea. I'm gonna write that one down. Except nowadays you never have pen and paper anymore, do you? Like, I need to write this down, and you're like, well, maybe it wasn't that good of an idea, because I'm not going to take the effort to go find a pen and paper. All right. Here's a grungy one. It's called Grungy Inside and Out. Here's one called Happy Beginnings Are Faster. I like that one. Here's, Hi, I'm Mr. B6. Are there any Rick and Morty fans out there? That is a great show. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. There's one called Smooth Buttery Dolphin. I don't know who would put butter on a dolphin, but I want to hang out with that person, because I bet they got some stories. Let me show you another hot tip. Hot tip. Just the tip. Little game we like to play here on the show. So let's say you like this, but it's just too glowy, okay? Well, remember these presets are sort of a starting point, okay? So you can go down here to what makes it glowy. In this case, it's image radiance, and you can bring that down. So it's not so bad, okay? By the way, this was another battle I lost when I went a bridge too far, and I asked them to call image radiance Fairy Tale Glow, because I thought that would be cool, but they thought that sounded kind of stupid too. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on. Okay, so we're going to play with this one a little bit, all right? And I'm going to show you, maybe this is a good opportunity to show you layers. Well, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee here while I refresh the group. Well, you can see here I was listening to some Mayan Warrior. I wonder if anyone knows what that is. It's one of my favorite art cars at Burning Man. They have these great DJs that get up there. Incredible music. So listen to this music. It gets me going. I already have a lot of energy, you know, but it gets me going even more. All right. We're going over here. Hello, Jake from Omaha, Nebraska. 2 from Omaha, Nebraska, back to back. Jake and Jen. You guys should go meet for coffee. Watch the show while having coffee. Hey, Gavin, not liking there. Hey, Roni Diaz Herrera from Montreal. Going. Yeah, you guys keep letting me know where you're watching from. Always cool to see you. Come join our group. Come join our group. Oh, look, 6 new people want to join the group. Who's coming in? Donald Robertson. Deborah, Mark Orange. Jeff McDougall. Banu Prakesh Gatetti. And Carter Field. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I honor your family with my excellent pronunciation. Your extremely Indian sounding name. To you, it's not an Indian name. To you, it's just a name. By the way, tomorrow night I'm going to have Indian food at this really good place here in Arrowtown called Simba. No, it's not called Simba. That was the dad on Lion King. It's called Karumba. No. Mantra. Mantra. And I'm sure in India, you guys just call it food. We call it Indian food. That's how it works. Okay, let's go back into Aurora. Let's work on this photo. Let's make some art together, okay? So let's look at the before. Boring. Boring. You know, this is a minor difference between the 2 versions, but a difference I really like is that now it really shows the middle exposure, the real before. Okay, before it would show sort of an HDR version. Now look at that, so cool. We're going to improve it even more, by the way. So let's go down here. Oh, look, here's this new thing, HDR look. Let me show you this. Look how fast it is. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. So this is our new HDR look slider. Okay, brand new algorithm. And just move it back and forth and find something that you like. Normally, the more to the right, the more cartoony it is, and the more to the left, the more realistic it is. So you get to dial your own very, very quickly. Very simple naming. I like it. Very simple. In this case, I'll move it over here to the right. You might notice, by the way, when you start playing with this, if you get a halo, just move this HDR look to the left. The halo goes away. All right? I'm going to increase this just a little bit. Nice. Let's go all the way down here and add a little bit more HDR structure. Oh, yeah. Good. Let's add a little smart colorize on the radiance. This is sort of the glowy area. Polarizing filter won't do anything here, really. That's really for daytime shots. Kind of gets rid of that haze. You know what polarizing is? Polarizing filter. But I do want to go down here. Oh, here's a new section I'll show you. This used to be called top and bottom lighting. Now it's called top and bottom adjustment. Before I got a hold of that name, these engineers called it variable ND gradient filter. It's like, guys, that name is ridiculous. Let's make it what it is. You can change the lighting on the top or the light, on the bottom. Simple. But we do have this new warmth indicator, warm or cool. Okay, so that's kind of neat. I do that a lot. It doesn't work with this photo, but it works a lot with landscaping photos. So here, I want to draw a vignette. So I want to darken the edges, kind of make the focus down the middle. Look at that. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. Now we're going to add a new layer. This give me a chance to show you some new goodness. Okay. Adjustment layer. Okay. That's what we're going to add, but let me show you these other options. So you can add in a custom texture. Super awesome. You can add the original image, or look at this, sports fans. You can add one of the original HDR brackets, 0, 1, or 2, -2, 0, or +2. And then you can brush in or mask in an element of that original thing that you actually wanted. Okay? How cool is that? We think of everything. We think of everything. So we're going to make an adjustment layer. Okay? And in this one, let's call it elliptical light. Okay? I'll show you one of the minor tools. Okay? So if you click the brush tool, remember this is where we got the luminosity masking options here, where you go pick different levels. Okay? We're not going to do that here. By the way, if you're just joining us, let me show you this, because it's such a cool feature. If I click 0, 1, it now just selected like the 20% darkest area of the photo. And then I can hit check, and then I have total command of all these sliders over here to play with that area. Genius. Look at that. How smart are these Ukrainian engineers? I tell you what, it's the borscht and the cognac. I'm sure of it. It makes them great engineers, but not very open to creative label names. Okay, it's okay. Good with the bad, two sides of the same coin, some yin and some yang, some give and some take. It's all right. It's all right. So I'm going to show you this new tool here. Okay, the radial gradient mask. Okay, so I'm going to change this thing around. And what am I trying to do here? Let me talk big picture. Well, what I want to do is I want to make the end of this path be extra glowy. Okay, like this is a Japanese salaryman, and he's walking home. Okay, through the streets of Ginza, and he's coming out of a dark alley, and it's getting brighter and brighter and more colorful and more dreamy the further he goes down this road. Okay, a little storytelling here. See, I think about this stuff a lot. I don't always talk about it. I think it's nice to tell a little story with your photo. Okay. Be a little dramatic. Be a little dramatic. We weren't put here on Earth to be boring, were we? I hope not. Okay, I know we weren't. So now I've selected this area. I'm going to click the check mark. Okay. So now it's selecting that area. Just to prove that I have a little selection there, I'm going to go take the exposure and just really slam it up. See, bright or dark, bright or dark. That's the area I'm playing with. So you can see there's like a hard area in the middle, and then it kind of feathers out as we go out. Okay. So what do I want to do here? Well, a little bit of smart tone to lighten it up. Okay, pull up the shadows a little bit. But really, I think we're going to get some bang for our buck. It's down here in image radiance. Okay, so we're going to make it extra glowy. We're going to make it extra bright. See this brightness right here? And really make it nice and colorful too. Very nice. Maybe cool it off a little, because it's getting, you might notice as I increase this, it gets really, really cool. I mean, really, really warm in the colors. So we're going to cool them off back into the blues. Dial that down just a little bit. All right, awesome possum. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, so let's look at a before and after. Before, after, before, after. Come on! Which one is more interesting? Come on. Honestly, and this program is so fast. You see me playing all these sliders. Again, you can skip all that. Just go pick a preset that you like, and you are off and running. Okay. Well, we'll close up the little live show now. Hope you like that little peek inside the kimono of Aurora HDR 2017. Again, there are over 20 new features. I only showed a few off here. You guys are going to love this thing. And I know a lot of people have already pre-ordered. You're very excited. I'm excited for you too. We also have a bundle that you can get that has about an hour-long tutorial that I just finished about 3 days ago. It's really fun. It's got some good stuff in there. I show you some stuff that you might not figure out on your own. Okay, I start slow like I usually do, and then we get into some pretty intense stuff towards the end of the tutorial. All right, let me give one final plug for our critique session tomorrow. All right, let me refresh this thing. Check in on everybody. All right, let me refresh this page here. 2 new people want in. I will allow you in behind the velvet rope. Tom McCafferty. I've always liked that name. And Zoe Thon. That's a cool name. Cool name. People have such cool names nowadays. Don't they? So come in, drop off your photo inside the comments of the pinned post, and we will do some critiques tomorrow. All right, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be great fun. I've already been going through here and looking at it just a little bit. I am excited to do that. I excite. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. You guys are incredible. Always nice for you to tune in. Danny Price says he's sold. Thank you, Danny. Anna Tomlin says, I love your pictures. I think you're an awesome photographer. I have flowed you through Google, now on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you. I love doing it. I'm addicted to taking photography and editing photos. What is the best HDR iPhone app? I would say get Camera Plus from Lisa Bettany. It's a good app. Or get Snapseed. They're equally good. And Snapseed, Snapseed, is free. Google bought it and they made it free. Mantra means hymn in Sanskrit. Oh, is that right? That's interesting to know. I saw a question come up about my jacket. Let me show you my jacket. This is really nerdy, but cool. This is a Scotty vest, okay? And it's got like 26 pockets. It's got pockets all over the place. It has like a little place for a pen right there. It has a place for your phones, and it has a place for an iPad. It has many cool features. One of them, it has like this internal tubing so that you can like take your earphone wire up like through your jacket, and like it comes out right by your ears, right by your chin, which is kind of cool. And then it's got other things in here too, like inside the zipper, it's got this thing, which is a piece of silk that I can use to clean my lenses or my glasses. Inside of this pocket, my arm pocket. Oh gosh, I put my hand in the wrong pocket. It's got this little bungee thing, so I can attach my keys to it. Like a chain key kid. Remember that? Is that what they called them? Chain key kids? I remember that growing up in the 70s. We lived in a city. I think I got that from watching Different Strokes. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for watching again. You guys are incredible. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, we'll do some critiques, do some deep dives. We'll get into it. All right. Let me close off this webcast. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time, my internet friend.